Continuing our trip to Cannon, man, I love this story. It's time to meet the men and women charged with the responsibility of looking after the newest baby to the base, the AC-130J Gunship. I was able to sit down and meet some of the crew of this new baby. We already introduced you to the AC-130J Gunship. Now let's meet some of the crew of this big bad beast.
3,628 feet, 1-4 Sierra, Kilo Delta 4.
First up,
I always like to say that the airplane doesn't care what sex you are. They don't care if you're a male or a female. The airplane cares just that you're a good pilot.
First Lieutenant Madeline Mersch, a co-pilot from Orange County, California.
Kind of there to support the pilot with any decisions he or she may make, any of the calls, all the shots that he's calling.
10 minutes, normal. There you go. Decreasing, about left.
Making sure I'm backing everyone up with checklists and flying the airplane, of course.
She chose this route because
just the ability to serve, and this country has given me so many opportunities growing up that I'm so incredibly thankful for. So I really wanted to give back.
Next up,
So being able to go through that training and knowing the importance of helping those guys on the ground.
Joshua Valenciano, gunship officer, born and raised in San Antonio.
Our primary job is the tactical portion of the mission, and that's going to be the weapon employment of the mission, as well as actually talking to the ground parties and the other tactical players that we have for the mission and operation that we're conducting.
25 miles to make it CPI 2, weapons initializing.
As well as navigating the aircraft as well as to the mission area, and as well as conducting defensive maneuvers for the aircraft.
Why he chose to serve?
It was middle school really when I knew I wanted to join the military. Growing up post 9/11, and seeing the different documentaries and different things that I saw growing up, it's something that I wanted to do.
Next up,
I'm the primary individual that is responsible for everything that happens with this aircraft.
Derek Fox, evaluator pilot, says he grew up a military brat, but grew up in different parts of Texas.
Every decision that is made, I'm kind of the final focal point. So if anything happens, it's bad or unsafe, basically falls on me.
He says the military called his name as a child.
But I just knew that military flying was kind of a dream. So I'm one of those kids that got to, I'm doing what I wanted to be when I grew up. So luckily, I'm very lucky in that regard.
And the guy who oversees all of this, you've met him before in our previous stories.
Those missions, that time spent, has created a strong and tight brotherhood amongst those partners.
Commander of the 17th Special Ops Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Saylor.
When our team members go out in the field, they know that the AC-130J and the community is going to be there. If they get in trouble, we are going to be there to get them out of trouble.
Now, Cannon Air Force Base has some really cool toys and gadgets and some great crews. And if you're interested in joining,
find what you do, find a way to apply that to serving this country, and everything else will work itself out.
Man, I love it. Now, coming up in the next installment, after 20 years focusing on the war on terror, we'll look at how the mission of Cannon Air Force Base is evolving. That's tomorrow night on KMR Local 4 News after the Olympics. And for bonus raw footage of the servicemen and women, including bonus interviews, head over to our website. You know where to go, myhighplains.com.